Alrighty folks, we're here today smoking up a nice rack of ribs, some rib ends, as well as some chicken breasts. We're getting near the end. The ribs have been going down now about 3.5 hours. Chicken has gone down 2.5 hours. I didn't want to put the chicken breast in at the same time with the ribs because if you overcook the chicken, over smoke the chicken, it's going to get very dry. It's not going to taste good at all. Using my Char-Griller offset grill and smoker today. I didn't want to use my Masterbuilt smoker. I've been using that quite a bit. And even though I've been using the Char-Griller as a regular grill and doing indirect cooking as well as grill cooking, I wanted to use the smoke box attachment and see how things would go today. So the coals and the wood chips are starting to die down. Having a hard time even maintaining a 200-degree temperature, which is not so bad. I've been rolling smoke at about 225 to 250 degrees all day, so things have been going low and slow. The wood I was using today, well, I was using regular Kingsford charcoal briquettes. I was also using some lump charcoal, and I had a whole bunch of cherry wood blocks that I had soaking in water for at least 5 hours. The idea was when you put the cherry wood on top of the coals, it creates the smoke because of that moisture and humidity starting to burn off. And as you can see, we're pretty much near the end. Alright, let's see where all the magic is happening. Alright, there's our ribs. Looking pretty good. You can kind of tell things are getting towards the end when you start seeing the bones protruding from the edge of the meat. That's a sure sign that you're getting very close to the end, and you can pull it off whenever you want. Look at the bark on those rib ends. That's really cool. They're not burnt, far from it. It's the brown sugar starting to caramelize, and it creates what's called a bark, and this is what you look for in competition barbecue. Chicken breasts have been brushed down with my signature Firecracker Sauce. It's like duck sauce, minced garlic, a lot of cayenne pepper, other spices and whatnot, and it's a pretty cool little sauce to use. And again, chicken's been going for about 2.5 hours. Ribs are about to come off. We're going to bring everything inside and let everything sit for a few minutes under some foil so we can finish that cooking process. You don't want to take meat off of a grill and start to cut into it. You see a lot of people when they grill a steak, they bring it back inside to the house, they throw it on a cutting board, they start to cut into it, and all that juice is running out, and everybody thinks, oh wow, what a great cooked steak. No, moron. All that flavor is in that juice, and it's running down the side of your table and onto the floor, and that's what the dog gets. He's getting the better flavor. You have to always make sure that whenever you grill any kind of meat, no matter whether it's poultry, pork, beef, whatever, you got to let it sit for a little while. Throw it under some foil. Let the temperature start to cool down a little. Let the meat retain those juices so when you carve it and you eat it, it doesn't taste so dry. So we're going to bring the stuff in and we'll take it from there. I've also been spraying the ribs down with apple juice. Get yourself a little bottle with a spray nozzle on it and make sure you write food only so the wife doesn't take it and put a whole bunch of Windex in there and one day you spray it on your ribs and you wonder why you're seeing funny colors and dead relatives pass before your eyes. So this is something that I keep with all my cooking utensils. Throw the apple juice out that you don't use. It's pretty cheap. You can buy more. But make sure you have a spray bottle that is only for food use only and use it to spray the ribs down. Sometimes they get a little dry. So you always spritz a little orange juice. You spritz a little apple juice on there just to keep them moist. It adds a little flavor profile to the meat as well, and it keeps everything from drying out. Now, one thing I did today was I also included a pan of water. It allows moisture and humidity to stay inside of the chamber, therefore keeping the meat nice and moist. I do the same thing in my smoker. I always have a water pan in there, so the meat cooks, the meat smokes, but the meat stays nice and moist. Alright, let's go inside and see what's going on. And before I forget, before I bring things in, for those of you that may be asking, I used a dry rub mixture today of brown sugar, salt, garlic, black pepper, and chipotle powder. I want to have a nice little dark smoky flavor that the chipotle powder will definitely impart onto this meat. It's not going to be tremendously spicy, not nearly as much as the Firecracker sauce, but it will have a little bit of a kick to it. It's not like my sweet heat sauce, I mean my sweet heat rub that I use. That's a lot of cayenne pepper, a lot of crushed red pepper, and garlic salt, paprika, brown sugar. This is strictly brown sugar, chipotle powder, garlic, salt, and pepper. For the veggies, we did a simple almondine with asparagus, onions, green peppers, all diced up, with some toasted almond slivers, with a little bit of bacon fat, salt, pepper, and garlic. Gotta have a vegetable. At least that's what she tells me. Alright, so here's the finished product. I'm going to bring everything inside to sit under some foil to just make sure that the cooking process is done and to keep all those juices inside. I think everything's come out pretty well. Everything looks pretty good. Also, the way you see these grates, these things are going to be spotless by tomorrow. I clean my grills after every single use. Some people will tell you, don't clean the grates, let them soak in all that flavor. Yeah, they also soak in a lot of bacteria and sometimes bugs. You know, I go to people's houses and I see them opening up their grill and it looks disgusting. And I'm almost hesitant to say, I don't feel well, I think I'm going home now. Because, they keep their grills in horrible condition. The more you clean your grill and you just get it ready for the next use by cleaning it out with soap and water and hosing all this gunk out and getting all this old ash out of there, the better it's going to work the next time around. Also, ash, let it cool down, wait till the next day, and then discard it in a metal bucket of some sort. Or, you know, if you want to wait 2 days before you clean the grill and you come back to the grates and the ash, that's fine. Just make sure everything's really, really ice cold before you put it in something that's not metal, because otherwise things will catch fire. But you don't want to leave that stuff at the bottom either. It corrodes your grill, and you want these things to last, you got to take care of them, all right? This grill is nice and seasoned. All the black that you see in there is from a bunch of use. It's not dirty, and I can put all the soap and water I want in there. It's still going to look the same. It just means it's seasoned. But these grates, yeah, all this stuff is going to get a good hosing and a good scrubbing tomorrow. All right, let's go inside and start carving up once the meat has a chance to sit in the foil and soak up all those juices. All right, so here's the final product. I've let everything rest for a little while. Everything came out perfect. Look at that smoke ring. You can see the smoke that penetrated through the outer coating of the skin, got right into that meat. That's perfect, that's what you're looking for. Chicken is perfectly done, very moist. Cut it up into nice big thick chunks. It's got that nice Firecracker Sauce on there. And the ribs have my Sweet Chipotle rub. Alright, everything looks good. It's time to eat. Bon appetit.